I can multiply a 2-digit number by a 2-digit number. So we know our multiplication facts. 2 times 7 equals 14, 2 times 8 is 16, 2 times 9 is 18, 2 times 10 is 20. 6 times 3 is 18, 6 times 4 is 24, 6 times 5 is 30, 6 times 6 is 36, 6 times 7 is 42. We know our multiplication facts, and if we don't, we can easily, quickly figure them out by drawing an array. Now, if we're to solve a problem like 23 times 72, you first are going to want to not have it written vertically, but you'll want to write it up and down 23 times 72. And the way you really want to think about this is here. You've got to take your two ones from the 72 and multiply that by all of 23. So you got to do 2 times 23. You also got to take your 70, or your 7 tens, and multiply that by 23. So you're doing 2 times 23 and 70 times 23. Now how you figure this out is just solving these problems, because this one is a single digit, and this one really is also a single digit times a double digit. So 2 times 23, I know that's just times 2, so I'm just going to add this number up twice. So I do 23 plus 23, I get 46. So I have 46. And then 70 times 23, well, I worked it out down here. I know that anything times 70 is going to end in a 0. So I just started out with a 0, and then I multiplied like normal. Excuse me. 7 times 3 is 21. I put down the 1, I carry the 2. 7 times 2 is 14, plus 2 is 16. So 7 times 23 would be 161, but 70 would be 1,610, because it's the rule is when you multiply by a power of 10 or a multiple of 10, you just put a 0 at the end. So now I add up these two products, 46 plus 1,610, I get 1,656, and then it's being my product for 23 times 72. Let me take you through an example and show you how to do this using the standard algorithm, how you could write it on your page. So first I have this problem written horizontally, so I got to transfer it vertically. 56 times 38. Again, I'm doing 8 times 56 and 30 times 56, adding it together, and then I have my total product. So first I'm going to start with 8. I'm going to do 8 ones times 6. Well, 8 times 7 is 56. Okay, let me work my way backwards. 48. So I put down an 8, carry a 4. 8 times 5, 5, 10, 15, it's 40, okay? And then I add in 4, so it's 44. Again, knowing your facts is going to be the key to being able to get through this process. If you don't know your facts, you might come over here, draw your 5 groups, put 8 in each one. You might count by 5s up to 40. You need to be able to figure out your problems to do this. So 8 times 56 is going to be 448. Now I go on to 30. Remember, any times I multiply by a multiple of 10, you got to start with a 0. So I'm just going to put a 0 here in the ones. Excuse me. And now I just multiply like it's a 3. So 3 times 6 is 18. I already used this, so I'm going to cross that out, so I know I used it. Carry the 1 from the 3 now. 3 times 5, 5 times 15, plus 1 is 16. So 3 times 56 would be 168, but 30, because this is in the tens, would be 1,680. There's just a 0 at the end there. Now I add up my two partial products. The same thinking on the other slide, but it's just a little bit cleaner in terms of how it's looking. So you're thinking that you can write it like this. It's the standard algorithm. 8 plus 0 is 8. 4 plus 8 is 12. 1 plus 4 is 5, plus 6 is 11, and 1 plus 1 is 2. So 2,128 would be your product of 56 times 38 equals 2,128. Now you can also do this in an array, rectangle, or area model. 56 times 30, I already have it kind of drawn out for you, but we're going to work through these problems. So basically, this side of the rectangle equals 38, because 30 plus 8 equals 38. And this side of the rectangle is 56, because 50 plus 6 equals 56. We know the area of a rectangle is your length times your width, so the area of this, if you multiply these two together, will give you this product, 38 times 56. What I'm doing is just breaking it down into smaller, simpler numbers that are easier to multiply. 30 times 50 will give me this one. 8 times 50 will give me this rectangle. And then 8 again, because this side was 8, opposite sides are equal in rectangles. 8 times 6 is 6. 8 times 6 here, and 30 times 6 here. Now I multiply each number together and add up my 4 products. 8 times 50 is going to be 8 times 5 with a 0 at the end, which will be 40 with a 0. And then 30 times 50 is going to have 2 zeros at the end and be 3 times 5, so it'll be 15 with 2 zeros. I'm going to make sure I'm lining up my place values, because I'm going to add all these together in a minute. 30 times 6 is 3 times 6 with 1 0, because I have a multiple of 10, I put a 0 at the end. 30 times 6, 3 times 6 is 18 with 1 0, so it'll be 180. And 8 times 6, no multiples of 10, so just 8 times 6. Oh yeah, that one was 48, I remember that. I can add this all up. 1, 0, 0, 0, 8. 0, 0, 8 plus 4 is 12. 1 plus 4 is 5, plus 5 is 10, plus 1 is 11. 2,128. And I come back to that slide before, and I got the same answer. 2,128. So both ways get you to the correct product. I can multiply a two-digit number by a two-digit number. Here's a challenge problem. 32 times 25. Figure out the product.